This is Prabhakaran. I am happy to be here to present the advantages of Essential UI Kit and welcoming all of you to learn about the Essential UI Kit to configure it in your project. In this webinar, I will give you the introduction to Essential UI Kit and why you need to use it in your app. I mean, what are the key features, and it takes care that you no need to worry about in your app development. And I am going to create a real world application using Essential UI Kit. It's going to be an e-commerce based app as you see in this video. It's a complete app, starts with onboarding till the checkout process of a product. Let's take a look at what is the Essential UI Kit and why you need to use it in your cross-platform Xamarin development. The Essential UI Kit for Xamarin.Forms is a free open source product developed by Syncfusion. It includes more than 40 pages that can be directly used in your app. The VS extension available in the marketplace that has packed with all the pages. All you need is just add the pages from the extension and configure your data to each screen. All the screens follows the MVVM design pattern, and integration of your business logic is really simple. It also works with all the popular MVVM frameworks and all the latest features of Xamarin.Forms such as Cell, Hot Reload, Startup Tracing and more. And the important thing is, learning and making your app related changes to the existing view is so simple as it is properly formatted and structured in the XAML file. These are the factors why you need to use the Essential UI Kit instead of building your own UI for reducing the app development time. Layouts are optimized for mobile, tablet, desktop, including portrait and landscape mode, so you no need to make any changes for different resolution and different density. Making the appearance changes are simple in application level. It mainly helps to apply your branding color to all the screens from a single place. The RTL support is already built and tested for you. The layouts are iterated multiple times to get the best possible performance. And finally, it works with all the popular MVVM frameworks such as Prism, MVVM Cross, MVVM Lite and so on. Now let's move to the Visual Studio. And I have already created a brand new Xamarin.Forms project. And this project is targeting only Android and iOS platforms and not UWP. Because I'm using the cell feature of Xamarin.Forms in this project, so and the cell is not support the UWP platform yet in Xamarin.Forms. So this is the core project I have already built for my project. So the core project contains all my business logic. It's like view model and for some services handling the navigations and startup classes. So let's explore the core project. The data is a JSON file and is responsible for having all the product information. And here is the data service, which is used to access the data from cloud and local storage. And here is the helper class. It actually contains the implementation of command. Since I am not adding any reference of platforms project in this .NET standard project, so I don't have access to any command. So I have to implement my own command, which is inherited from the iCommand interface. So this is the interface and models. So as I already know what are the pages I'm going to include in this demo, so I have already built for the model and view model classes for the respective pages. So here are the services actually used to map the functionalities between my core project and my platform project. For example, if we take a look at the dialog service, it actually used to show a pop-up with the title and message. So we don't have an option to show the dialog from this .NET standard project. So it actually implemented from my Xamarin.Forms project, and using the autofig, the instance of this iDialog service will be created and passed to the respective view model. So from there I can access the instance of this dialog service class and call the show method. So here is the internet service and here is the navigation service. it actually uses to navigate without having any dependency of pages. I can actually navigate from my view model classes itself using the type which view model instance going to be navigated, and the parameter name and parameter value, and this argument decides whether the new page is going to be replaced the entire page, and I mean it's set to main page of the application, or it's just actually pushing to the stack. And here is the iPreference service. It is actually used to store the files, I mean keys, in a local storage and fetch it from there. And these are all my view models. It's going to be used in this e-commerce application. So it's all about having the command and properties and respective methods which actually used to bind from my views in the Xamarin project. Let's take a look at the login page view model. So here we have two arguments in the constructor. The one is dialog and one is navigation. So both of these will be created and injected to the constructor using the autofig. So we have to map the implementation of iDialog service and iNavigation service in the respective platform project. So once this is initiated, so we have login command which actually bound with the login button in view. So once the login button is clicked from the view, we will get notification to login clicked method. So here, and inside the login clicked method, I'm just navigating to a category page view model. I mean it's a category page view model is going to be linked with the category page in platform project using the navigation service and navigate to method. So I'm just passing the selected category as none. So I'm just navigating to the new page without checking the user validation for this demo purpose. And here is my view model. So this is the base view model for all my login classes. And one more thing is, here is my startup class. It's responsible for returning the correct page when the user opened the app. For example, if the user already logged in, we can directly show the product pages. But if they are new user, we have to show the onboarding and login pages. So using the get main page method, so we can get the respective page from the platform project code. So here is everything about my core project that I have already created, and the next thing is I have to add the code project reference to my Xamarin.Forms .NET Standard project. Add the core project as a project reference. Now we have to add the pages from the Essential UI Kit. So if you have not installed the extension of Essential UI Kit, just go to the extension manager. And search for Essential UI Kit. So install this extension in your Visual Studio. So as I have already installed, so this tick mark is visible for me. So make sure you install before you try to add the new pages from Essential UI Kit. So now I have already installed the extension and I am going to add the required pages from the dialog. So after installing the Essential UI Kit, you can see this option, Essential UI Kit for Xamarin.Forms. It's like adding a new Xamarin.Forms pages. So I'm just clicking it. So it opens a new window. It is actually specifically designed for adding the pages. So from this window, you can choose multiple pages, or also you can choose to add the entire category. You can also search the required pages from the search bar, and if selecting the required pages will have a preview window available in the right side. You can also change the name of the folder. So this is the folder which all the files is going to be added. So in this demo, I need the login page, sign up page, and reset password, forget password pages. And inside the e-commerce, I need the category tile, and I'm going to list the product using the list, not tile. So I need detail page, I need cart page, and checkout page. So and then I'm going to add a simple about us page, and this is onboarding. I also need this, and error and empty page. I need empty cart page. When there is no item in the cart, I just navigate to this page. And I also need the no internet connection page. So when the internet connectivity is disabled, I can navigate to this page. So I'm just adding it. It may take some time for adding all the XAML files and NuGets, installing the NuGets and adding the resources to the respective folder. So meanwhile, I will show you the resources available to get started with Essential UI Kit in your Xamarin.Forms project. So everything is documented in help.syncfusion.com site. So in the overview page, you can see the list of categories available in the Essential UI Kit and supported platforms. So inside the getting started, you can see how to install this extension from the Visual Studio Marketplace and from the extension manager of Visual Studio, and how to select and name the folder of each template, and how to render it in your Xamarin.Forms project. So also, if you need any specific screen, you can always request from our feedback portal. So this release notes always adds an information of new screens, so it will be updated for each release. Let's go back to the Visual Studio. Now all the pages I have chosen in the dialog have been added to my project. So not only the pages, it includes all the supporting files like behaviors, controls, custom controls and converters, and helper methods and theme files. So if you take a look at the themes, it's actually a primary color. If you change this, where this primary color is applied will be changed. So you no need to make changes in each page. So here is the dummy view model created for each view. In this project, I am actually having all my view model in a core project. It's like a business logic. So if you don't have that one, don't worry, just start using from this dummy view model. So you can just remove the default values and then use your own from your server or anywhere. So these are the views I have chosen from the dialog. It not only includes the resources in .NET Standard project, it also includes all the necessary files and NuGet packages in my Android and iOS projects. So for example, if we take a look at the init method, it includes all the init method of the control in iOS project. So you no need to do anything after adding the pages. It takes care of everything for you. The only thing you need to do is map the main page. So in this project, I have already pre-built services in my project. So I'm just going to include it. So these are the services files, and here is my app XAML. So let me explain what I have added in the service files. Here is the dialog service, which is actually implemented from iDialog service. This interface is located in my core project. So here is I have implemented the show method using the application.main page. I am displaying the alert using the display alert method and passing the respective arguments. So similarly, I have a navigation service, but in navigation service, whenever the navigate to method is called, I only know the type of view model, not the page. So for that I have to store a dictionary that contains the view model of each page. So I am actually populating here. So for example, here is the login page view model, so I am mapping it to simple login page. In the similar way, I have mapped all the view model to the respective page. So whenever navigate to method is called with a type, I actually get that respective page and creating the instance using the activator and navigating to the respective page. So inside the navigate to method, so I am actually checking if it is a category page view model. So the reason for this, we actually not show the master detail page until the product catalog. So for that we actually need to replace the entire view of application once the category page view model is going to be navigated. So in that way I am actually accessing the current application.main page and replacing the entire page using app cell. So after that, if there is an chance that sometimes that the page should not be navigated, instead it should be replaced the entire application. So in that case I am just checking whether it has to be replaced or it should be navigated. So if it should be navigated, I can use the push async method to pass the respective page. Otherwise I can just simply replace the main page with the new page I am creating from the instance. So let's take a look at what I have added in the get page with the binding context method. Here I am actually getting the type of respective page from using the view model, and if I can't find the page, and I'm just throwing an exception that the mapping for the respective type is not a page, and creating the instance of the respective page using the create instance method of activator. And we actually have option that along with autofix injection interfaces, we can add some more parameter to the view models. So in that way, if we have to invoke the resolve method with any parameter that is given by the interface, so if we have any parameter, then we actually pass the parameter with the autofix named parameter. If we don't have any parameter, we can simply resolve the type. We actually already defined all the types that needs to be resolved, I mean how to be resolved in the type locator. So for example, the iNavigation service should be resolved with the navigation service class, which we have implemented in this Xamarin.Forms project, and iDialog should be a dialog service, and this interface should be the preference service, and we are just registering the startup class, and these are all our view model classes we are registering here. So these are some extension methods. So now coming back to navigation service, we actually setting the instance created by the type loader to the binding context property of page and returning the respective page. So this is all I have done in the navigation service, and here we can see what I have included in preference. So using the Xamarin.Essentials, I am accessing the preference of my app, and using the get and set methods, I am just storing and retrieving the values for based on key. So this is all I have done in my services. And if we take a look at the app.xaml file, so I have loaded few items in a flyout in my code behind. So this is my category page view model. So even for this, I'm not directly creating the instance of category page, instead creating the instance of view model using my autofix dependency injection. So in that way, the view model instance will be created automatically and set to the binding context of the respective page. So this is the instance I'm creating for a home page, and this is for about us page, and this is a command which actually used to log out from the product pages. So this app cell is not going to be visible until we successfully completed our login and navigate to the products. So So inside the init method, I'm listening for the network changes. So this helps to whenever we have lost the network connectivity, so it actually navigates to the uh, no internet connection page in the queue. So, and this is for initializing the autofix container and getting the instance of navigation service using the type locator, and also for getting the instance of startup. And I have instance of startup class. This is actually declared in my core project, and using this I can get the main page, and with the main page I am actually returning the main page that needs to be visible to the user when they open the app. So here I am registering some routes for this app cell. So this is for internal navigation between products and login screens. And once the logout button is clicked from the master detail page, it will be triggered here, and from here I am just setting the email preference as null and navigating to the login page view model and initializing the build container using build method of type locator instance. And here is the connectivity changed event, hooking the connectivity changed event for listening the network connectivity change. And this is the code that actually helps to push and come back from the no internet connection page. So this is I have added in my appcell.xaml file. So, and one more thing is these are the dummy view models and model classes that's added with the view. So as I have my view models and models in a separate project, so I don't need these classes right now here. So I'm just going to delete all these items now. I don't need data service and data, so I'm deleting from this project. So we have deleted the view models from this project, but actually inside the view we actually configured the view model instance to the binding context. So we have to unmap it to make sure it works properly from the navigation service. So we have configured it in all the pages. So the code will be very simple, anyone can understand. We have also added the commands whenever it required. So here is the card page. So we have to remove it from all the pages because the dummy view model classes are initialized and set to the binding context property of all the pages. So you can just keep using it if you don't have any core project. It's like in this solution, so you can make use of the existing view models itself. All you need to do is just provide your data to your view model classes. So here is the detail page. So these are the error and empty pages, so no need the command. So removing the namespace declaration, and this is the no internet connectivity page. Removing the view model, the namespace alias name. So here is the login pages. So this is the content view actually, which is used inside a login page. So we actually no need to configure the binding context for the content view. So it is the login page. It is the simple reset password page. This is a sign up page. And one more thing is we still have onboarding. So in this page we are actually setting the binding context. So we actually configure the view model for all the pages. because the advantage of this is making your changes is so simple. For example, we have an onboarding view model here. So if you want to make one more item in the walkthrough, you can just go here and add one more item with the image path, with the header and content. So even if you want to edit these items, you can simply make the changes right here. So instead of making changes in the XAML file, so it's so simple for making the changes from view models. So you don't need to worry about making changes in views. So now I have removed the reference of dummy view models from all the files. Now I'm going to compile this project to make sure it works properly. I have missed it in one place, I think. I have removed the local namespace wrongly. So if we build this project, it's a work. So now it built successfully. Now I'm going to replace the main page, which is the dummy label, with the startup page. So all I need to do, just call the init method of app cell. So it returns the startup page with the help of my core project, and I'm going to use the navigation page for handling the navigation. So inside the navigation, I'm using the appcell.init method. So then only it will properly navigated between the pages. Now I'm going to build and run this project in my Android phone. So meanwhile, I would like to show you the app that has packed with all the pages. Is available in the Google Play Store. You can just go and download and check all the pages in action. It takes some time for building the entire solution and applying it in my emulator. So here is the output of Essential UI Kit pages that have been included in this application. So this is my onboarding screen. I have 3 screens in the on walkthrough pages. So if you click next, then you will get the next screen, and then if you click next, this is the final screen of this walkthrough. So once it reaches the final screen, the skip button will be invisible. So if you swipe back and go to the previous page, and then skip button will be visible. You can even press the done button here to skip this process. Also you can skip this process using the skip button. So here is the login page that we have added. So everything is handled in my core project. So I am not handling this in my Xamarin.Forms project. For example, if you take a look at the view model of onboarding, so you can see how I'm handling this from the next button. So once the next is clicked, so using the navigation service, it actually injected from the constructor using the autofit. So navigation service.navigate method to the login page view model. Since the user is visiting the first time, so I should navigate to the login page view model. So there is no condition need to be checked. So in the login page view model, so I am actually navigating from the product category page. So I am not actually validating the username and password, so I can directly navigate to the product category page. And here is my product category page. So from here I can get the master detail page using the app cell. So I can go to the about page, and then I can also log out from here. So I'm going to again log in and show the categories for you. So I have loaded only fashion items. So if I click the electronics in this demo, only fashion products are loaded. So there is some warning message. This is also shown using the dialog service that we are actually injecting to the constructor. So I'm choosing the fashion here, and in this list I have loaded only the watch products. So if we click the watch, we can, this is the different page, it's called product list, I mean product catalog. These pages are contain some basic information. It's like name, description, and the actual price and offer price and the rating of this product. And then we can also bookmark this. This will be stored in a separate list. We can also directly go to our cart details if we click this icon, and if we click the product, it actually shows the detail of the product with the different angle images and then name and details of the product. Again, we have actual price and offer price. So this part of the screen actually comes from the default page. It actually added for dresses, so we actually need for this product. This is not required for watch products. So I will show you how to remove this product from this page. So this is the details page. So you can find the details page from the inside the e-commerce, and here is the detail page. And if you search for select size, then you can get the labels here. So this is the label, I mean the title of that segmented control. So I am just going to comment this out now, and this is the segmented control that we have used to select the different sizes. This is also not required now, so I am just going to comment out it now. So if we run this project again, those part in the detail page will not be visible. So here we go. I'm again going to navigate from the onboarding screen to the product, choosing the watch product. So here we go. So we the label and the segmented control is visible now. So making that that's why I said making any changes to the existing view in order to it works with your product or your branding. So it's so simple. So the additional information of this product is displaying, and some reviews from the users also integrated with the same page. So if you add to cart, so your item has been added to cart, so we have option to directly go to cart from here. So these are the products I have already added in cart. So we can just review and remove if there is any change in this, and then you can place the order. We also provide the page for checkout. Here we have option to get the address, delivery address, and billing address. And here is we actually have a payment option. We have different types of payment options provided built in, so you just need to configure whatever your app needs to be. And then we have price details including discount and some more informations. Once you place the order, again we will have an event in the checkout page view model that will be triggered after you click the pay now button in the view. So from there you can handle all your server logic with interacting with the payment gateway and some other details. So that's all about this application. So if you run the same application in the iOS project, I'm sure you can get the same output as well. Sorry. So I have connected my Windows machine with the Mac build agent, so I can preview the iOS emulator from my Windows itself. Now the app is deployed in iOS emulator also. So this is what exactly what we have seen in the Android emulator. So we can just walk through the pages, and here is the login screen. This is the category page. You can also access the master detailed content, so you can get all the navigation what you had in your Android phone. So here is the category, subcategories, and here is the product list. So I'm adding some different product here. So if you don't have any review, we will just be the first one to review, so it should be handled from your end. So even if I directly click the cart page, it actually loads a cart list, and from here I can just place the order. Here is the same checkout box, so I'm choosing different payment option and click pay. So that's all. So the appearance of all the view are common in both Android and iOS. Even if you have a project for UWP, you can get the same output in UWP as well. So this is all about Essential UI Kit for Xamarin.Forms and how it helps to reduce your time for making a beautiful Xamarin.Forms application.